Arena in Evanston hosting a big-time non-conference battle tonight. Oklahoma off to a terrific start at 10-1 in town to battle the 8-3 Wildcats. It's Big 12 versus Big 10 on BTN. Dave Revs and John Crispin, and two teams I know you think have very similar approaches, John.
Yeah, very similar approaches, very versatile in many ways. They're going to switch a lot around the perimeter. Christian James, transfer, experienced player, guys scored at least 13 points in the last 5 or 6 games. He's going to be a tough one, especially kind of coming home. And then on the other end, another local kid, Vic Law, has been terrific, both offensively and defensively. But what I commend him the most on is staying out of foul trouble. He's an emotional player, but when he stays out of foul trouble, this is a very dangerous Northwestern Wildcat team.
Take a look at the rest of the guys in the starting lineups. Miles Reynolds, someone to keep an eye on for OU, a grad transfer, a Chicago native, started coming to Northwestern basketball camp at age 4. This is his first ever college game in his hometown. In addition to Law for NU, keep an eye on Derek Pardon, their second leading scorer at 17-9 in a loss to the Sooners last year. There's Chris Collins, the 6th-year head coach of the Wildcats after 13 seasons as an assistant at his alma mater of Duke. And there is Lon Kruger for Oklahoma. Of course, a familiar face in the Big Ten, was once at Illinois. He is in his 8th year with OU, has never lost a game in this building, 3-0 all time. And the opening tip is controlled by the Wildcats. A.J. Taylor will bring it across, A.J. Turner, I should say, will bring it across for the Wildcats. Here's Derek Pardon. Now back to Turner. Vic Law for 3. Back heel and out, and the rebound goes to Christian James.
Well, you saw Northwestern early trying to get the ball inside to Vic Law. He ends up having to settle for a 3, so a job well done on the defensive end for the Sooners.
Here is Reynolds, the Chicago native, played at Whitney Young High School. Has it blocked by Kopp.
It's good to see Miller Kopp just getting more and more comfortable on the floor, and that goes both sides of the ball. Defensively, you got to settle in if you want to have some freedom on the offensive side.
Here's James, been red hot. That one doesn't go, and the rebound to Kopp. Oklahoma has really changed its identity from last year. This was an up-and-down team. As the first 2 scored by Derek Pardon, they are now a defensive-oriented team. Obviously, the variable there is the loss of Trae Young.
It'll be interesting to see how they defend Derek Pardon. I mean, he is a beast down low, particularly when he gets it on the right block and go right shoulder, left hook. He's almost unguardable when he gets in that position. So you got to play defense early and take that away.
This is Calixte, a grad transfer from Maine. Shot clock under 10. Now James working on Kopp. Good defense from the Wildcats. Reynolds trying to penetrate. Gets it up on the glass. Does not go. Offensive rebound, though. And a fresh 30. Now out of the corner, it is Reynolds. Not there. And the rebound to Turner. And here come the Wildcats. Turner through the lane. Lays it in.
Got to be pleased with the effort so far for Northwestern, particularly when you're playing without a point guard. Whoever gets the rebound, 1 through 4, needs to take it and go.
Sooners got off to a slow start the other night against Creighton, then turned it on. This is Manick for 3. That one well short. And here comes Law for Northwestern. And that one through the hands of Ryan Taylor.
That's what I talk about. A rebound has to be the first pass of the break, and that's exactly what it is. He just gets the ball out, runs. At one-on-one, you've got to take advantage of that opportunity in transition.
So the Sooners now in the front court looking for their first points. 0 of 5 from the field. James trying to change that, and he does. First 2 for Christian James, who is on quite a run. 4 straight double-doubles. He had none in his first 104 career games.
Well, I'd say he's been a lot better with a balanced attack, and that's what you're seeing from this Oklahoma team. It's going to be a lot different. People remember Trae Young from last year. It's a lot different, this attack, this approach, on both ends. Really.
Reynolds lost it on the way up. Pardon gets it for Northwestern. And the Wildcats will slow things up. Taylor going to try a 3. That doesn't go. Taylor has struggled with his shot, shooting just 30% from behind the arc. A guy who led the Missouri Valley in scoring a year ago. James Does not go, and the rebound to Taylor. Now Turner. Taylor will try again. That one's well off the mark. Kalixki the rebound for the Sooners. Here's James. These are two defensive-oriented teams. We've seen signs of that here early on. And that's a travel on McNeese. Well, we were talking about Christian James, how hot he has been. I mean, think about that.
Yeah. Look, that's getting comfortable in a different role. That's what this is. He needs a different role. More is expected of him. More is demanded of him, and in every way, understandably so. It's a balanced attack, which means the ball's going to find everybody on the floor, and he's done well with the ball in his hands. He creates a lot, and he's also incredibly active on the glass.
Two teams that combined 3 of 13 from the field, so we expected a defensive battle. We've gotten that so far. Here's Law weaving his way through, and McNeese does a good job defensively. Here comes Reynolds now for the Sooners. And
that's one that Walt Law's just got to go up strong with. He's got to force the official to make a call and not give him a chance.
See Anthony Gaines in there for Northwestern. He replaced Taylor, who struggled early on. This is McNeese working on Pardon. Going to the left hand and gets it to go. Jamuni McNeese, first two.
That's just a great shot. I think that's good defense. He forced a 10-foot jump hook. Just a really good offensive play.
Now Pardon tried to answer on the other end, but they turn it over. Has been pretty so far. 4-4 Wildcats and Sooners from Evanston. In the holiday spirit in Evanston, 4-4 Northwestern and Oklahoma. Dave Revson, John Crispin with you at Welsh Ryan Arena. Two teams, John, top 30 in the nation, both of them in defensive efficiency. What have you seen so far?
Well, so far, this is a Northwestern team that defends the three-point line really well. And to do that, you have to shorten your closeouts. They've done that very well so far this game. And you force tough shots by just having active hands. So you got to like the effort that Northwestern's put forth on the defensive end thus far, forcing difficult three-point shots. And the biggest key to that is maintaining position on the backside to get rebounds and get out and run.
Through the lane, James does not get it to go. Cop the rebound for the Wildcats.
And this is that something's got to give kind of game where you got an Oklahoma team that shoots the ball really well from the three-point line and a Northwestern team that defends it well. And it doesn't mean, look, a team that defends the three-point line well doesn't mean that they don't let you shoot threes. Look out. Alley-oop to Law.
We saw them work on that and shoot around and could not have executed it better.
And that's one that the Oklahoma staff look at and say, guys, we looked at that too.
There's Freeman in the game. Does not get it to go, but it is tipped up and in by Rashard Odom. So, number of subs in here for Oklahoma. Team that goes pretty deep. It's Turner, drills the three. A.J. Turner had a huge game in Northwestern's big comeback against DePaul. Hits the three-pointer there. Now Doolittle, that doesn't go. Freeman the rebound. James for three. Not there. And the rebound to the Wildcats. There's Miller Kopp. Cutting Law, being guarded by Bieniemy. Law trying to muscle his way in, and he draws the foul. Foul will go on Jamal Bieniemy, the freshman. That is his first. So you take a look at the BTN standouts presented by Auto Owners Insurance. I'd say that is a worthy standout.
Yeah, look, I think the real standout is the fact that a set play worked. You'd think the standout is the finish, but it's really the fact that they executed a set play to perfection to the point where you actually got what you wanted.
Law hits the first free throw.
I know that may sound funny to some, but let's just be honest. At this level, very rarely does a set play work. Like if you run the flex offense, you're not going to get a layup every time down floor. Guys do such a great job of taking that away. You have to win with counters at this level. But that was a freebie.
Just as a for instance, Northwestern worked at length on a play and shoot around today. They said this is going to be the first play of the game. I won't tell you what it was. I can only tell you it wasn't the first play of the game.
It wasn't the first play.
It didn't work out.
And the thing is, a lot of it's feel, right? You got to feel the action that you want to get into. It's not just run every set as it's supposed to be in the book.
Here's Freeman, native of New Zealand, misses badly. Anthony Gaines the rebound for the Wildcats. Now Gaines weaving his way through inside to Parton. Parton goes up strong.
I don't know if there's anybody else in the conference that can finish with zero angle the way Derek Parton can finish. He had no angle whatsoever, yet find a way to get that up.
7-0 run for the Wildcats. Odoms working on the freshman Pete Nance. And Odoms gets the layup. That's the challenge for Nance. Can he defend at this level? Hasn't quite developed the strength that he needs to yet.
Well, look, yes, he can, but he's got to figure it out. He's going to learn on the fly.
Parton. Here's Nance. Gaines thought about the three, and he turns it over. Here's Bieniemy for the Sooners, and Bieniemy will pull it back out.
That's one of those head-scratcher passes where you just, there's nothing there. I mean, you're throwing it through the teeth of the defense, and those are the ones you have to eliminate.
Oklahoma really struggling early from the field. Goes out of bounds to the Wildcats. When the action ends, the Big Show takes over. Highlights from around the conference, post-game reaction straight from the arena, and in-depth expert analysis. The Big Show right after the game here on BTN.
You know, Dave, we talk about the similarities of these teams. Both teams are going to have confidence with the 9-10 guys that they can put on the floor, which means that every possession is going to be hard fought. Defenses are going to be locked in.
Taylor back in there for the Wildcats. On the screen from Benson. Taylor got that one to go. First two for Ryan Taylor.
I like his aggressiveness. The fact that he continues to shoot the basketball, is not shooting very well. The first 2 threes, not good looks. That's the type of look he's going to get and make.
Sooners just 4 of 16 from the field. Odoms trying to change that, cannot. And Benson able to corral the loose ball for Northwestern. Cats have hit their last 4 field goal attempts. Gaines for the lead. So a little different story from last year in Norman when the Sooners put 68 on the Wildcats in the first half in Northwestern's game so far. Here's Reynolds. Now Doolittle. Does not go. Ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be Northwestern.
I'll tell you, Northwestern and their fans have a lot to be excited about. This is just good basketball. Credit Nance. Heads up. Good vision. Throw down on a 17-8 lead.
Northwestern up 9. Happy winter solstice, December 21st. But basketball fans know this is the 127th anniversary of the day that James Naismith published the rules of basketball. The first game played in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm not sure he had exactly this in mind, John.
Well, look, the beach basket would be ripped to the floor if this was the case. I think the restrictions were ultimately on the uniforms that they wore at the time and the ball that didn't bounce that much. The game was a little different back then, as if I was around to see it.
You've heard rumors. So great start for the Wildcats. Here's Barrett Benson out top. This is Gaines. Taylor around Kalixki, and he'll go to the strike.
So that's what makes this team interesting. They don't have a point guard, a true point guard, but they have multiple playmakers around the perimeter. I think that's what makes them so dangerous. It's almost like they have a 5-man and a bunch of 2 guards. And I think that's a tough cover. It's a lot to ask your defense to lock in on 4 guys around the perimeter and a 5 that does a great job popping out and setting ball screens.
You see a little bit of what you're talking about, just the similarity, the interchangeable parts for the Wildcats.
It allows you to make mistakes when you have that type of group. Look, if you and I are playing the point and the 2, and we're being asked to switch with a 3 or 4, we're going to be in trouble. But when you have that type of length, that type of size, you can trust the switch where you can handle Barrett Benson covering a guard from time to time.
I just want to clarify that if I'm playing at all, we're going to be able to. That's true. That's a whole nother issue. Kalixki inside Manick trying to work on Law, and he turns it over. Nance getting into the passing lane. Here's Gaines the other way for the Wildcats. Law for 3. rims out, and it goes. Oh, no, Nance was fouled going for the rebound. It's going to be number 2 on Kalixty. Stay connected with BTN across every platform and get access to exclusive video content. Like, follow, share BTN.
Man, I got to work on my brand here. I've got like 2 of those things going. I got to expand to Facebook or something.
You've got one more than I do.
I sneak in Instagram. I like to look at families' pictures.
And now a steal by Bieniemy, and then a foul on Ryan Taylor. That'll be his first. And in case you are wondering, I feel it is obligatory to mention that Jamal Bieniemy is in fact the nephew of the former Colorado All-American running back Eric Bieniemy. I mean, it's just not that common a name.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's like Revson.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think that it's quite as notable.
Not yet.
No. Ball will stay with the Sooners. Been 3 minutes since Oklahoma has scored. Bieniemy, the lone freshman on this team. This is a very experienced Oklahoma team. In fact, by Ken Palm's metrics, they are the most experienced team in all of the power conferences.
I would say their experience in a way is fool's gold because of how different they are from the team they were last year. So there's still going to be a feeling out process. They're still going to continue to get better as this season goes on. Everybody's in a different role.
McNeese, nice pass to Odoms. Well done. And Rashard Odoms off to a nice start. He has 6. He had 13 against Creighton. Really played well in that game. A win against the Blue Jays the other night.
That's another guy for Oklahoma that just wants to attack. And the aggressors are so difficult to cover.
Taylor measures the 3. Nance the rebound. Near steal by Odoms. Now Gaines not able to take advantage. Nance tries to keep it alive. Odoms, though, great hustle, and that is a goaltend on Taylor. That is about as easy a call as you'll get.
Odoms has had an impact on this game. It's not just his ability to get out and transition, get to the basket. I mean, he can score it when he needs to, but he's aggressive with the basketball. Definitely a goaltend.
Odoms now with 8 of the Sooners' 12 points. Ball being hounded by James. Or top back in there for the Cats. Now Parton, and he is fouled by McNeese. Now, we were talking about what a blowout this game was last year in Norman. The one guy who really played well in that game for the Wildcats was Derek Parton. Now, Vic Law did not play. Parton had a very solid effort. And talking to Lon Kruger today, they were concerned about that as Law scores off the inbound. Half dozen for him.
I tell you, Northwestern runs sets as well as anybody in the country. And I would say that that's always been Michigan State's MO. But this Northwestern team just gets it.
How about that? A couple good blocks from the Wildcats. All stay with the Sooners. But again, you get a sense of the identity of this team and the length and the challenge that Northwestern presents for people.
And they understand they can't just win by breakdowns. They can't just win one-on-one basketball. They got to do this as a team. I think that's what makes them so dangerous.
Another steal. This is Law in on Manic. Law missed the layup, and James the rebound. Here come the Sooners. Bieniemy. Odoms. Rashard Odoms now into double figures. And the foul on Turner, his first.
Rashard Odoms is not just good at getting to the rim. He does a great job of always giving it a chance. And people think a guy's always a great slasher. He attacks well from the perimeter. No, he just always picks his spots. And that comes from a guy that knows how to finish around the rim.
Well, Lon Kruger really praising Odoms today. I mean, a guy who started 55 games over the last couple of years, but coming off the bench this year and has embraced that role. Now 2 shy of his season high, already with 11 points.
It's an interesting role because you're able to come in and make an impact right away. You're able to come in and be even more aggressive than you might be in the starting lineup when you try to feel an opponent out.
Foul out top on James. It's a very aggressive defensive team. The Sooners does bite you a little bit. That is the 5th foul on OU, just 2 on Northwestern.
It's a Northwestern team that's somewhat comfortable with that aggressive defense. They see it from Illinois every year. And they'll make those reads. If the defense extends, this is an offense that understands there are reads to be made, and that's often a back cut or an attack.
Law gets the pull-up.
Dave, we talked about it at shoot-around. Why are people not talking about Vic Law as a pro?
I don't know. I talked to an NBA scout on the way in today who thinks that he definitely has a chance. And I can see why. I think he's had a fabulous year.
He fits a role. He's learned the game of basketball extremely well. He's been coached for years. He's the kind of guy that can come in and play a great role in the NBA. I don't get it. We just live in that world of hype where if the kid's not a freshman and on every magazine there is, or online, whatever it is, we just kind of lose interest. Vic Law's the guy that really interests me as a basketball player.
There's Gaines muscling his way in. That's where Anthony Gaines has an advantage on Bieniemy. Just great strength. Doolittle going in on Parton. First two for the junior Doolittle, so suddenly turned into a little bit more of an offensive battle here. Here's Parton backing in on Freeman. Parton going to the reverse. Couldn't get it to go. Doolittle the other way. And James gets the three, and Northwestern takes a timeout. So the Sooners with a nice little run here as Oklahoma very much back in this game after trailing by as many as 11.
Look, they had to make a little bit of run because Northwestern had it going, both on the defensive end, but also scoring wherever they wanted to. Northwestern still up.
Men's basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. That is a familiar face to Big Ten fans, the Big Ten Coach of the Year by both the media and his fellow coaches. Pat Fitzgerald honored at that last time out. Wildcats headed to the Holiday Bowl to take on Utah.
How about the fact that Northwestern has a football coach and a basketball coach that just fit? They just fit in every way. They match the identity of the university as much as they match the identity of their programs. It's not too often you get them. They also have a great athletic director, so that helps.
10-4 run here for Oklahoma. We'll see whether Northwestern has a response. This is Vic Law. Law elevating, can't get the roll, tips it back up and in. No, offensive foul called on the Wildcats. They will wave off the hoop.
I think they're calling this on Derek Parton. It's not going to be on Vic Law for over the back. It's going to be Derek Parton kind of rooting him out.
See, Derek Parton doesn't necessarily agree, but I think pretty clear-cut call there.
The box out's always an interesting one because you are trying to clear out, but you technically can't do that.
There's Doolittle nearly fell down. Bieniemy, not a great shooter. This is Odoms, who's had a tremendous game. Can he keep it going? Misses that one, but the follow by Bieniemy.
Odoms is a game changer. He's got 13 points, 6 of 9 shooting right now, but just the attention that he's drawing allows for that putback dunk opportunity. The balls or the eyes are just facing the basketball.
Down low to Parton, and an offensive foul on Parton. So that is 2 quickies on Northwestern center, and arguably one of the most important pieces.
It's not a terrible play by Derek Parton. It's just a really good defensive play to maintain position. That's the thing. If you anticipate where Derek Parton's going to go, which you know he wants to get to that right shoulder left hook, you can jump it. He was in position, right call.
So the Sooners with a chance to take the lead. They've yet to lead in this game, trailed by as many as 11. That's dodge a bullet there. Here comes Law the other way.
And I'd like to see Northwestern, get back to executing. Get something going. Get everybody involved. Move the basketball. Don't just dribble around like they're doing right now.
Swarming defense by the Sooners, and they force the turnover.
And that's the challenge, too, of not having a point guard, not having somebody that's comfortable to just to pull the thing out, get a reset, find something to get into. Nothing wrong with just moving the basketball. You see two come your way, just move the basketball. There's going to be a mismatch somewhere.
That's the 6th turnover for Chris Collins' team. They average about 13 per game. Wixty back in there for the Sooners. Here's Reynolds. Doolittle working on Barrett Benson. And that's the first lead of the game for Oklahoma.
And that wasn't bad defense, but you have to hold your ground enough to keep him from getting inside the middle of that paint. Barrett Benson's a high-energy guy, does a great job on the defensive end. That one just lost that battle.
There's Taylor. Off-balance shot to go. And Ryan Taylor now with 6. Doolittle. Now to work on Benson. Has it blocked by the big guy. Here's Law the other way. Pete Nance out of the corner. Got it. First 3 for Pete Nance, son of the 3-time NBA All-Star Larry Nance. Guy they are very, very high on here in Evanston.
There's a lot of confidence in that shot, and that allows him to shoot it in rhythm, which a rhythm jumper becomes a much higher percentage shot.
Wixty can't get it to go. Law the other way. There's Nance again. Inside Benson, and he's fouled by Freeman. So Pete Nance in the scorebook. The Wildcats back up by 4. Northwestern up by 4 on Oklahoma. As we remind you, we have a tremendous day of hoops tomorrow on BTN. A full slate with the Badgers, Huskers, Wolverines, and Hoosiers, plus Illinois and Missouri. The bragging rights rivalry showdown. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep tomorrow right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Well, how about that fella, Scotty Lindsey, former Wildcat star who unfortunately tore his ACL the other day in the G League, so you can understand why he might look a little bit glum, but back to watch his teammates part of that tremendous run to the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago.
This facility is a little bittersweet to those guys. I mean, that was the crop that almost got this built in many ways. And to play their senior year games out in Rosemont, this place is fantastic.
It is unbelievable.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah. Foul on Nance as he was grabbing Christian James. That's the first foul on Nance. No doubt. I mean, you talk about what went wrong for Northwestern a year ago, and I think a lot of it had to do with having to play the games out in Rosemont, 15 miles or so from campus, and have a flat atmosphere. This should really help them this year. 2 quickies on Pete Nance.
And that's just Nance showing his youth. I mean, young guys seem to be a step behind the play defensively all the time. It just happens early in the season. You're a step behind the play. When you're a step behind the play, you pick up cheap fouls.
So that sends Miles Reynolds to the free throw line. I mentioned that he had grown up going to Northwestern basketball camp. His parents, Jim and Sandy, both have MBAs from the Kellogg School at Northwestern. Was recruited heavily by Bill Carmody, the prior coach here at Northwestern, of course. And then in the transition, didn't necessarily get recruited by the Wildcats, but has a lot of deep connections, and told me today he literally has hundreds of people coming to watch today. There's a lot of red in this building, or a significant amount anyway, and a lot of it is connections to Miles Reynolds.
And he's having a great season so far. I think he's found a spot here. He's got a ton of experience playing at a high level, and I think that helps the team. As I said, it's a different approach this season for Oklahoma.
Here's Reynolds in transition, and Law fouled him. That's the first on Vic Law.
Just see how turnovers kill you. It just sucks the life out of the game. It takes the rhythm out on one end and allows a team a run out and an opportunity and an easy basket on the other. And it drives coaches crazy. If it's a careless turnover, it's going to drive you nuts. If it's an aggressive turnover, you could live with a few of them, but not too many.
To finish the story on Reynolds, again, the first game he has ever gotten to play in his college career in Chicago. He's a grad transfer from Pacific, although he started his career at St. Louis. You think about the good fortune, Oklahoma has not played a game in Chicago since 1947 against DePaul. And how about he gets a chance to come here and play in a game?
He's really spanning the globe here. St. Louis, Pacific, Oklahoma.
Seen it all, or a lot of it anyway. Barrett Benson out top. Now Law working on Manic. And that one rims out. Rebound to Reynolds.
I like when they give Vic Law ISO opportunities. I think he either needs to be closer to the basket where he can play back to the basket basketball, or a little bit more room to work and put the ball on the floor. That was almost the only shot he could get up.
There's Freeman, good outside shooter. That one doesn't go. Taylor the rebound for the Cats. We remind you the State Farm halftime report. My call just settles. Deion Thomas standing by in our Chicago studio. Just 2 minutes of game action from now. Foul inside. It's going to go against the Sooners.
Terry Weimer's such a good official. He saw that happening. It's almost, he didn't anticipate, but he saw some physical play in the post. He let the first bump go, but it was the second bump that he called. That is the definition of a good official. Let a little bit go. Let's see how this plays out. If they continue to be over-aggressive, and he's going to call it. I love that. It's good officiating. For as much as they get complaints, these are some of the best in the game.
Barrett Benson shooting the 1-and-1, and that one is well off the mark. Benson not a good free throw shooter.
And sometimes a bad miss is funny, isn't it? I mean, that was well off the clanker off the back of the rim always gets me.
It's the second made three for the Sooners, and OU on top 32-30.
Turner just lost sight of Reynolds in the corner. It's just a bit of a breakdown defensively. You can't leave shooters open.
A.J. Turner cut off. Defense from Oklahoma. Now Benson lays it in and draws the foul.
Benson kind of feels like he's becoming the man of arms type of player here at Northwestern. Plays with such great energy, does everything pretty well. Nothing great, but he's impactful in every way. And he also brings a great energy that gets the crowd into it, which I think is great for guys that come off the bench.
Really a neat kid, really well-rounded. He's his class president in high school, National Honor Society, and one of the guys that I know this team really rallies around. They'd rally around him a little more, though, if he had made some of these free throws.
And I got to say, too, I think he got great experience going back to when Derek Parton was hurt. He was asked to play significant minutes and important minutes, and he did well.
That ball knocked away by Gaines. Back in the hands of Doolittle. Shot clock obviously doesn't reset. Reynolds. Defense from the Cats. Ryan Greer in there for Northwestern. And Greer gets caught holding Doolittle. That's just a mismatch inside. First foul on the freshman.
Northwestern foul number 2, Ryan Greer is first. Team's 8. And for the Wildcats, Ryan Taylor replacing Ryan Greer.
Doolittle going to the free throw line. 13 points the other night against Creighton, a season high. Injured his ankle slightly in that game. There was some concern about his health for this one. Nice hustle there by Reynolds, but he stepped out of bounds.
Oklahoma's got to get Brady Manick going, too. They are a better team when he's making threes. And it's not just the 3 points that go on the board. It's the fact that he's a floor spacer when you've got so many other playmakers around the perimeter. You got to have somebody that keeps the defense honest.
And Turner just flat out turned it over. Got it back, though.
Is it a turnover and a steal?
No, the shot clock didn't reset, so they did not call it a turnover.
Okay.
I anticipated the turnover. It was an anticipatory turnover.
There you go.
There's Taylor working on man. Taylor maybe not the best shot out there. Too little to rebound.
That's one way to put it. He's the kind of guy that can create his own shot, but you want him to do it within the execution of the offense. It's going to come his way plenty of times.
The hopping on one foot isn't necessarily.
That's a big stop here for Northwestern.
So here's the enemy. Can they get it up? Maybe not. And so we go to the half exactly as we started, tied up at 32, Northwestern and Oklahoma. Second half will decide this one. Send you to Mike Hall, Jess Settles, and Deion Thomas to State Farm. Halftime report after this. The Wildcats have led by as many as 11, but it's even at the break to Chicago right after this. Well, last year in Norman, Oklahoma led Northwestern by 30 at halftime. This year in Evanston, they have scored 32, as have the Wildcats. We're even at the break. Dave Revson and John Crispin with you. What stood out here in the first half?
Well, what stood out is really the bench for Oklahoma. You got a bunch of guys that can come off the bench and give you buckets. And Rashard Odoms was one of those guys who just comes out and looks to get to the basket. He attacks. And that's what makes the team so difficult to cover. When you have multiple players around the perimeter who are going to look to get to the rim, it changes the way you defend. You break down easily. And Vic Law's the type of guy that's gotten better and better in terms of finding his within the offense. He's not the guy that's going to take the ball all the time and make his own plays. He can certainly do that, but he's much better when he gets it through the offense. So those two guys back and forth, but the real strength has been the Oklahoma bench.
Has indeed 19 points. Obviously, when one guy scores 13, that goes a long way towards that. But you think about it, I mean, Odoms has 6 field goals. The rest of the team has 7. Wildcats showing great balance. 7 different players with a field goal as Chris Collins' team looks for win number 9 on the year. And you see he has some final words of wisdom for Terry Weimers. They begin the second half.
This would be a great win. I'll tell you, this is a top 25 Oklahoma team. This, to me, is an NCAA tournament team. They're 10-1. I'm surprised no one's talking about it.
James puts Oklahoma on top. 7 points now for Christian James. Yeah, I think this is a clear-cut NCAA tournament team in Oklahoma. So this is a win that would resonate in March if Northwestern figures out a way to pull it out.
Look, they're experienced. They can beat you in a variety of ways. They shoot it well. And that's a big shot. I go back to it. This is a guy that can knock down corner threes. He can knock down threes from anywhere on the court. He's great in transition, defends well. He's a pro.
There's Doolittle. So a couple easy baskets for Oklahoma after halftime.
Dave, I feel like when Rashard Odoms came in and started to attack, get to the basket, it changed Northwestern's defense. And they've broken down twice here early in the second half. They've gotten away from what they did to start this game. And remember, they got off to a great start.
Here's Pardon. Wow, got a step. That's all he needs. Manick been very quiet as he had to score. Had that ball knocked away. Good defense from Turner. Here's Law in the open court. The pull-up 3 for Vick, and he airballed it. And James the other way. Kalixty in the corner, James. 8th lead change of the game as Christian James now has 10, 5 of them here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Law going to reset the offense, working on Manick. Law with the pull-up.
A lot of confidence in that jump shot. And what I liked about what Vic Law did was he waved Derek Pardon away. He said no, he declined the ball screen. He felt like he had the advantage in a one-on-one situation against Brady Manick.
There's Reynolds. Works around the screen. And Reynolds got a step and laid it in. 8 points for Miles Reynolds. And back and forth we go. The Sooners back out top.
This is something Northwestern's got to be conscious of. Coming out of the half, there's going to be some changes made. Right now, you got to keep an eye on Derek Pardon. And I messed up there. Sorry on my circle. Derek Pardon's your guy. He cannot get drug out to the other side of the floor. He got drug out on that ball screen, and at that point, they were beat. No help side's gonna be able to take that basket away.
Law elevates. Left it short. Miller copped the rebound. May have been fouled, no call. May have been fouled again, no call. And Oklahoma the other way, and then Reynolds is fouled. That one was clear as Law got it. That's 2 on Vic Law.
Just seems as if this Oklahoma team's getting a little bit more comfortable with their adjustments on the offensive end. Northwestern starting to chase the play a little bit. Defensively has to get back to playing safe but challenging defense.
Sooners a perfect 4 for 4 from the field here in the second half. And an offensive foul on OU.
And that's something they're trying to clean up. This screening action, whether it's your feet wider than your shoulders or an elbow or knee coming out, that time they got Brady Manek on the elbow.
Lon Kruger. These two coaches go back a long way. Lon Kruger recruited Chris Collins very heavily coming out of suburban Chicago. It's the second foul in a row on Manek. So 2 quick ones on the sophomore from Harrow, Oklahoma. But Lon Kruger said, you know, we liked Chris Collins a little more than Chris Collins liked us. But Chris was telling us today, it really came down to Florida and Duke for his recruitment. Ended up obviously choosing the Blue Devils. There's Gaines. Anthony Gaines doesn't go. Manek the rebound. Calixte got it. Big 3 for Aaron Calixte. First points of the game for the grad transfer from Maine. Largest lead of the game for OU, and Chris Collins wants a timeout.
Dave, it seems as if Northwestern forgot about what the game plan was coming in to start this game. Eliminate 3-point shots. Oklahoma's been rolling.
Back in Evanston, Oklahoma on top of Northwestern, 43-39 for now. They're actually looking at that Christian James 3-pointer to see whether it was a 3 or a 2, and we've kind of yet to get a ruling. Terry Weimer was over there for quite some time and called John Higgins over for some support, and they have ruled it a 2. So they'll make it 42-29 in favor of the Sooners.
I mean, it was really close. It looked like when he set up to take the shot, it was a 3, but as he rolled forward on his toes, seems as if he got up on the line.
Now there's John Shire among the luminaries in the crowd. We saw his Duke team take down Texas Tech at the Garden. And, of course, he and Chris Collins both attended Glenbrook North High School. A lot of great ones did, as you know. And Chris made sure to have me say today that John is the second best player in Glenbrook North.
Yes, he did.
Completely
you can tell he's still
ignoring the possibility that maybe I fit in there.
Yes, I was going to say, there's someone else in there.
Exactly.
Have you been listed as a luminary at any arena?
Anthony Gaines drains the 3. So I guess that was actually ruled a 2 originally, so I beg your pardon. So it is actually 43-42 OU. They were looking to see whether to add a point for the Sooners, not whether to take one away. Ball on the floor. Good hustle by Kopp. And then after Kopp gets called for the foul. So it's 43-42. Sooners on top of the Wildcats. Oklahoma leading Northwestern 43-42. Next to last game for the Wildcats before conference play resumes for them at Michigan State. It's part of a Super Wednesday on BTN. Cats and the Spartans preceded by Nebraska and Maryland. Super Wednesday presented by U.S. Cellular returns January 2nd right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
Get ready for a lot of good basketball in the Big Ten Conference this year. I think we saw that the first week of December. Every game, it's going to be good. I don't think you're going to see a lot of blowouts this year at all.
A very balanced league. That one doesn't go for James. Calixte, the weak side rebound. A fresh 30 for the Sooners. Lobs it inside to Doolittle. Knocked away by Parton. And Law the other way. There's Parton inside. Harden gets to that left hand, but can't roll it home. Calixte's got the rebound. And Calixte all the way in on Turner. Nicely done by Aaron Calixte.
Got to stop the basketball earlier in transition. These guys are so good. Even the smaller players using their bodies to protect the basketball, forcing you to foul.
There's Gaines. Now Law being guarded by Reynolds. A couple guys who've known each other for quite some time. Playing in the Chicago area. Again, Reynolds at Whitney Young. Of course, it's St. Rita. There is Reynolds. Calixte in on Cobb. Blocked away by Miller Cobb. It'll be Northwestern's ball, though.
Derek Pardon, you can take a look at him. Derek Pardon, it's all about how he defends this. This time he doesn't get flattened out. He actually forces the dribbler away from the basket, making a tougher pass. He's able to get back into the play and take that away. Much improved from that other possession we saw, which led to an easy dunk.
Your circles are getting better as the night goes on.
My circles are much improved.
Yeah. Your kindergarten teacher would be very proud. Here's Gaines. Nice look down low to Pardon, but once again, misses from close range, goes out of bounds. I think it was off Freeman, but I'm going to say Oklahoma ball.
Just watching it, I was going to say this is off Freeman.
Tough to say.
Whoever you're cheering for, it was off the other team. There you go.
Exactly. 100% of the fans are convinced. It was their ball. As it is, James hits the three. Really nice start to the second half for him. He now has 13. 8 of them since the break. And Oklahoma getting a little distance from the Wildcats. Law trying to answer, and he is fouled. It's going to go against James. It's number 2 on him.
I go back to how Northwestern started this game. Their game plan was perfect in terms of running guys off the three-point line or shortening their closeouts. That time, Anthony Gaines, it was a longer closeout, and his hand was down. You've got to be aware of shooters if you want to run them off the three-point line or force them into tough three-point shots.
Ryan Greer, the freshman, working on fellow freshman Bieniemy. Now back to Gaines. Shot clock under 10. Here's Greer. Someone's going to have to put it up. And Pardon airballs it, so a shot clock violation. So we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game. We go back to the first half as Northwestern worked the lob to perfection.
This was the lob that they drew up and shoot around. We've seen it before from them, but they just executed it to perfection.
Again, that our State Farm assist of the game. James again. That one doesn't go. Law's got it for the Wildcats. And Law nearly loses it. The corner to Gaines. Here's Greer with the pull-up. Rims out.
I feel like this is a tough lineup on the offensive side of the ball for Northwestern. Greer's out there. He can be effective, but just hasn't really gotten much going this season. And Anthony Gaines not a shooter. Really going to look to drive first. It's just been a tough lineup to get something going offensively.
To your point, just one of their last 10. Here's Odoms weaving his way through. Pardon altered that shot, and Taylor's got it. Harden again to the left hand, and this time he gets it to go. They've done a nice job on Derek Harden, just 8 points for the Wildcat senior.
He's going to impact the game, and you see it on the defensive end, but when he runs hard and gets position, much like Nick Moore, when he wins the position battle, he's able to put himself in scoring position.
Sellout crowd starting to come to life, and that will suck the life right out of him. A foul on Ryan Taylor. That is number 2 on him. Chris Collins' team in a 4-point hole. Oklahoma 48-44 lead. They've done it thanks to outstanding defense this half, holding Northwestern to 5 of 15. Again, you see, we talked about this off the top. I mean, this team has changed dramatically from a year ago. Now, some of this is pace. They obviously played much faster last year, but this is a far better defensive team. And Lon Kruger telling us today, hey, we got back to the way we used to play.
Yes.
The aberration was last year, not this year.
Well, and the aberration's around one guy who you have to give some freedoms to. I mean, he was that good. So you are going to change your approach when you have a guy like that of that caliber, a star player who's doing his thing in the NBA. But this is more like a Lon Kruger team. You've got multiple attackers and drivers. You've got good shooters. You've got great balance. But it's focused on the defensive end first.
There's A.J. Turner out top. Pardon. Tries to dump it down low to Law. Near turnover. Now Law spinning through the lane, and Vic Law now has 15.
I'll tell you, they do some really good things. If Derek Pardon's able to make that pass, it was good hands by the defense to take it away. And now finally this crowd is coming to life.
Back to a two-point game. James trying to answer for the Sooners. Oh, the rebound. Here's Turner right through the lane. Misses the layup. Rebound Bieniemy. Odoms nearly turns it over, and he does. All postseason long, BTN Live and The Big Show deliver in-depth bowl coverage, including game previews, interviews, post-game analysis from the people who know the conference best. Don't miss Big Ten bowl coverage on BTN Live and The Big Show, all postseason long right here on BTN.
That last defensive possession, Anthony Gaines did a good job of gapping on Odoms, who you know wants to drive the basketball.
It was the 5th Oklahoma turnover of the half. Northwestern yet to turn it over here since the break. They've just struggled with the shot. You saw Taylor miss another one there. Nice offensive rebound by Freeman. Fresh 30 for OU as we approach the midway point of this second half. There's Bieniemy. James. You know he likes this matchup with Taylor. That one rims out. Pardon the rebound for the Wildcats.
The defense has been much better the last few possessions, where they're getting back to just locking down, not gambling, not taking chances, controlling the basketball in every way.
There's Pardon. Double team comes from Doolittle. Now Law. Get it back to Pardon. Pardon spins in. And once again, we are even, this time at 48. This crowd coming to its feet, and Lon Kruger calls a timeout. A 6-0 run for Northwestern. Now let's take a look at this message from ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire and the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference.
Hiring delays were causing work to pile up. That's not smart. But you know what is smart? Using ZipRecruiter. They find people with the right skills, education, and experience for my job and actively invite them to apply. So I got qualified candidates fast. No wonder ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S.
ZipRecruiter, official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Big Ten.
Northwestern on a 6-0 run, a 48-48 game. See Lon Kruger, 33rd year as a college head coach. He's been in plenty of these, was very interested to see how his team would respond in a hostile environment. We will find out tonight. Well, they respond nicely there as Manick gets a layup off the great feed from Bieniemy. First two for Brady Manick.
Oh, that was another one. Derek Pardon just kind of got out of position. You should stay up the line. He does a great job of forcing the ball handler away and getting back into the play.
Pardon. A dozen now for Pardon, and we're back even at 50. Here's Maddox for three. Not there. And nice box out by Taylor.
You got to think the ball's got to get back inside to Derek Harden. He's having his way with Freeman down there. It's just been too easy. At least force a double, and let's see if we can get some shots around the perimeter.
Here's Taylor. He'll try another, and that one goes. 9 points for Taylor. Northwestern back in front. There's Freeman working on Law. Freeman answers. First two for the native of New Zealand. Gaines. Taylor. Got another. A dozen now for Taylor. The lead back out to 4. Bieniemy. Pull up. Good. Jamal Bieniemy.
This has just been back and forth. I mean, when you think defenses start to figure it out and get back to locking down defensively, guys start making shots.
Chris Collins barking out instructions. His team has made its last 4 field goal attempts. Here's Parton again on the blocks. They had 3 guys around him that time. And the shot clock's at 7 for Law. And Law dribbled it off his leg. Parton gets it back, has it blocked. The shot clock will be at 1. And we've got it. Officials timeout, so Chris Collins gets some time to draw something up here.
Well, it's been good with Derek Parton down low. If it's going to be one-on-one in the post, I'm taking Derek Parton every time. And then on the other end, Taylor's been terrific, making tough shots, bringing this life together.
Men's basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today. Dave Refs and John Tristan back at Welsh Ryan Arena. Northwestern by 2. They will have the ball with 1 second to shoot. Got to think they might be looking for that fella there in Derek Parton.
Well, you're looking at lobs. You're looking at a catch and shoot and potentially a foul.
Got to get it in. They do the Law. Got it off, but did not go. Manick has trouble with the rebound. Does a nice job, though, getting it to Kalixki. Here come the Sooners. Kalixki. Misses that one. Doolittle the rebound. Feeds it inside. Manick. And he gets the roll.
It's just a tough finish. Keeping the ball alive. Second chance opportunities. Manick hasn't been able to get it going from 3. And I think that's when this team's at their best. When they have that true stretch 4 who can keep the defense honest.
6th tie of this game. We've had 10 lead changes. Northwestern lost close ones. 2-point defeats at Indiana. Home against Michigan. Can they pull out a close one here? Vic Law doing his part. He has 18.
That is such a good shot. To come off that little dribble handoff, full speed, stop on a dime, pull up, no fade. What a pass.
Great feed by Kalixki, and Doolittle throws it down.
What a pass. Holy smokes, man.
We talk about hitting on grad transfers, right?
Seriously, right?
Kalixki and Reynolds have been fantastic for this team.
And it's interesting because they're already an experienced team.
And Parton nearly loses it, he does. Here comes James the other way. Reynolds, the other grad transfer, and Turner fouled him.
I'm talking about a guy coming off of a dribble handoff. Just full speed, he sees it. Tight to the dribble handoff, pulls up on a dime, no fade, not falling into the cheerleaders. And then this pass, kind of like an overhead soccer pass thrown hard into the ground. It's just that's just creative basketball, right? You don't teach that, but you just do it.
Again, speaks to the experience of this Oklahoma team. Really a veteran group, 6 seniors, 2 grad transfers. I was talking to Jimoni McNeese today, and he was telling me, there's just a different chemistry about this team. And he pointed to this guy, Miles Reynolds. Well, again, a grad transfer. I mean, he is a part of this team for 1 year. And he said he's been the best leader on the team. Makes sure that everyone hangs out together, spends time with one another. That speaks to Miles Reynolds' character.
And look, you get guys who come in on the 5th year, grad transfers, and they come in with a sense of urgency. They just want to do whatever it takes to win at a high level. And they understand more of what it takes to win at a high level than most guys on this floor.
Here's Turner, had it knocked away. And Doolittle's got it momentarily. Now Manick goes down. And what do they call it? I think a held ball. And if it is, it would go to the Wildcats.
They say 50-50 balls, there's a 75% chance Derek Pardon's on the floor. That guy just gets after it.
John Higgins calling the officials together. It is going to be Northwestern ball, but I think they're going to take a look here at this one on replay, on a review.
I mean, are you...
The issue is the shot clock, I believe, as to where that should be. It's at 27 right now. So if there was not an official change of possession, then I guess the issue becomes, where would the shot clock be?
We'll take a look at it here. I mean, there's no changes.
I'm sure they will let us know here.
But clearly, the shot clock should have started until possession was gained.
So 59-58, Oklahoma on top of the Wildcats. I guess the issue here would be that the shot clock reset. And so now they need to know where it was actually in that possession. So it should be, under 7 seconds here, probably about 5 seconds. If Northwestern's going to have the ball, remember, same possession.
Unless they're going to argue that there was possession. I don't really think there was any possession gained. It seemed like it was just a loose ball the entire time. No one really gained clear possession of it.
We are being told now going to reset it to 28 seconds. So I guess they are saying then that Oklahoma briefly had possession. That would be a huge break for Northwestern.
That would be a huge break for Northwestern, particularly
that was the case.
Getting the possession. I can't imagine that would be the case, right? I mean, it seemed to be a loose ball, almost a steal. No one gained possession.
1 point lead for Oklahoma. Sooners team that comes in having won 6 straight. And this is just the second all-time meeting between these two. Oklahoma won by 28 last year in Norman, and frankly, it wasn't that close. It's 68 points in the first half. Now they are going to reset the shot clock to 4 seconds. I think that's the right call, absolutely.
That seems right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could see if they thought that it was going to be a change of possession. Not sure if they thought Doolittle actually had the possession. Never did. So the right call. And an opportunity. Look, Northwestern scored earlier in this game in an out-of-bounds underneath. And they do execute well. They have a number of sets to go to.
Turner's got to get it in. They turn it over. Manick. Here's Kalixty for 3. Maybe not the shot line Kruger wanted. Doolittle gets it back, though. Rejected by Pardon. And Law gets it to Turner.
He's got to get the ball inside to Derek Pardon. He's got an opportunity with Brady Manick. He's going to either force a double or he's going to get a layup.
And Pardon, did he walk? No, he was fouled.
He got the chair pulled from under him. And Derek Pardon's one of those guys that people say stuff like this, like he can block the shot with both hands. Well, he can. He does. That's what makes him so good, and that's also what keeps him out of foul trouble. He's got great timing. He's a great rebounder. He's active. That time, he almost lost his footing, though, when Brady Manick pulled the chair.
So Derek Pardon to the free throw line. He will shoot 2. This is not a great area of strength for him, but hits the first one. 13 points for Pardon. Of course, Northwestern fans remember him for hitting 6 straight free throws in their NCAA tournament win against Vanderbilt a couple of years ago, but that's a little more of the typical Derek Pardon at the free throw line, kind of a hit-or-miss proposition. 59 all. Kalixty gets all the way to the hoop.
Can't Anthony Gaines has had some struggles defensively. He just struggles to get out to the three-point line, and just standing up there got beat to the basket. Not that he can't defend. He's probably one of the better defenders on the floor.
Here's Turner going strong. James the block. Here come the Sooners. Kalixny gonna pull it out. A great block by James. Four minutes to go in Evanston. James tries to get it done on the other end. Cannot. Law is out of bounds, says John Higgins.
You talk about a great block by James. This was an opportunity at the rim. Oh, thank you.
Mike, thanks so much. 61-59. Oklahoma on top of Northwestern. And Mike was talking about it. Full slate of hoops tomorrow. Badgers, Huskers, Wolverines, Hoosiers, all in action. And then the big one, Illinois and Missouri in a rivalry showdown. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep tomorrow right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
Word is Mike Hall knows the Illini fight song very well.
He knows they have sand. Yeah.
He has had to sing it quite a few times.
Yes, he is
the Illini winning that game. Yes.
So what do we got here? Down the stretch, Oklahoma up by 2. What are you watching for, John?
Well, first you got to get stops. You got to get stops and rebounds. Oklahoma's been great on the offensive glass, 14 offensive rebounds. I think you got to get Derek Martin the ball early in the shot clock.
Manick hits a big three. Brady Manick. 7 points here in the second half after going scoreless in the first. And the Sooners up 5.
And this is a great call defensively. Going to his zone. Northwestern just spent 5-10 seconds trying to figure out what it was.
There's Law. Taylor for 3. Back heel and out. Turner tracks it down. In the corner, Law. Taylor will try another. Harden keeps it alive. A third chance for the Wildcats. Taylor inside Pardon. Back out to Turner. Now Law in the corner. Good. .21 for Vic Law. James, he walked. So a turnover from OU, and now Northwestern with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
It's interesting in that zone, Oklahoma struggled to rebound the basketball. You're not covering a man, which means you're going to have to go find somebody to keep them off the glass, and the first rebound came off from the perimeter.
Sooners back in the man now. Turner to Law. We'll try another one. Rims out. And James. Chris Collins wants to travel. Doesn't get it. Here's Kalixny. Kalixny trying to jitterbug his way through.
Oh, no, I'm not sure about that.
Leg.
I think that went off of Kalixny's leg for sure. I mean, from this angle, it
might have been Law's leg.
They got it right.
They got it right. They got it right.
Should we tell everybody here?
Yeah, let them know. James trying to back his way in. Kalixny. Law on him. Shot clock at 5. Kalixny. Whoa, he hits another. A 2 for Kalixny. 9 points now. He is feeling it, and the Sooners back up by 4.
I was a split second away from saying Vic Law did a fantastic job defending a driver. He forced a tough shot.
Taylor. Wow. 14 for Taylor. The lead back down to 2. Buck 34 to go in Evanston. Kalixny right in on Law. Blocked by Law. Harden's got it. Here comes Law on the break. Vic for 3. No good. Harden the jam. 5th tie of the game. And Lon Kruger calls timeout. Time for In the Net, presented by Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's, and that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, that's a big basket, and this crowd has really come to life over the past minute or so. This is a Northwestern team we knew would make a run, and Vic Law, the confidence to pull up from 3. Everybody's attacking, looking to make something happen, and Derek Parton in position to clean that one up. A little bit extra rim shake. There you go. Yeah, look, Derek Parton's one of those guys, man. Even if you play against him, you can appreciate it. That guy just goes hard, man. Big ball, probably the same way. It's a Northwestern team that without a point guard is going to have to figure a lot of things out on the fly. This is Parton. Where's Parton at? There he is, right dead center. He's trailing this thing down. The shot goes up. He's got such a great eye for the basketball. He knows where it's coming off. He's going to give his team a chance.
Well, it's been the upperclassmen who've gotten it done here for Northwestern. Parton, Law, and Taylor. 32 of their 34 points in the second half. And can they get Northwestern a win? That would be a really big one for them. Remember, lost to Indiana, lost to Michigan, both by 2 points. Trying to pull one out here against an Oklahoma team that should be in that bracket when March Madness rolls around. Calixte. Here's James. James through the lane. And Manick went after it. It will stay with the Sooners. And John Higgins obviously going to go take a look now. Again, we're under 2 minutes, so they'll take a look at that one, and they'll get it right.
The defense has really been good the past few minutes from Northwestern, forcing tough shots. And let's take a look. Off of anybody else? Nah, it looks like it's off of Parton.
I think it's Oklahoma ball.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, yeah, that's off of Derek Parton. Look, you got to give these guys credit, man. We're seeing it twice, 3 times in super slow-mo. These guys got it right on the fly. It's the right call. Looks like it's off the left hand of Derek Parton.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. That should be Oklahoma's ball. The only thing I don't get is, again, I give them all the credit in the world, but I'm just not sure what's taking so long. It's clearly Oklahoma's ball.
I mean, the Northwestern bench was actually doing the Macarena there for a little bit. They're not really. You got a ball game here. 66 all, 55 seconds. Out of bounds underneath you. You got to stay safe here. Protect the basket. The defense has been good. They've been protecting the paint with dribble drives. I'd also look for a pop situation for Brady Manick, who just hit a big 3. Another 3 could be a dagger.
Inbound. Now James working on Gaines. Here's Reynolds. Got a 24-second difference. Shot clock and game clock. Calixte. Calixte on Law. Here's James. Calixte through the lane. Had it blocked. And Turner's got it for the Wildcats. And Northwestern can effectively hold 4-1.
Right now, Oklahoma's got a foul to give. You've got to think it's one they're going to use if Northwestern gets in a situation where they're attacking the basket.
It looks like Chris Collins not going to call a timeout. Turner. Taylor missed it. Goes out of bounds. And it will be Oklahoma ball.
That's one of those. There's probably a lot of people out there saying, why don't you call a timeout? Look, you trust the guys that you have on the floor. And you trust the sets that you have. And you trust the sets that you've run. This is a situation they practiced and worked on. Let's see. It's so hard to tell.
I don't know. It looks like it may have gone off Law at the end there. Again, we're watching on about a 12-inch screen. You're probably watching it on a 60-inch HD. Hard to tell.
I like that disclaimer, just in case we get it wrong.
Just in case you're curious. Although I have to say, you know, they've got the nice new technology here.
I was going to say,
we just look up.
You got a 30-foot screen up there.
Yeah, you got a big one. It's hard to tell. Take one more look at it. Clearly, Gaines didn't get it. It's Law there.
Question is whether it hit James. I'm not sure. You know, it goes back to the call on the floor, right?
Yeah, if it's inconclusive, it would stay with Oklahoma.
I mean, I feel like you could possibly make an argument that James touched it, but I don't know if anybody wearing red is buying it.
What you think of the decision not to call timeout? Not in hindsight. I mean, obviously in hindsight,
I would say if you're down one, you call timeout. If you're tied up and things have been rolling, you like what you've been doing, you got to stick with it. I like actually playing. Right now, only 3 fouls in the half for Northwestern, so you better use them. Cut this time in half.
Here, don't you?
Yeah, you got to cut this time in half.
No doubt.
I'd foul multiple times. I mean, there's no reason to allow them to even turn and look at the basket.
And now Chris Collins calls a timeout. I'm wondering whether that's what they're going to talk about here.
I'll tell you, I would have let them throw the ball in bounds. I would have fouled and let Ron Kruger take another timeout. Maybe let him use his last if he wants to draw something up. Maybe if they have it at half court, he may be forced to call another timeout, draw up something different.
66-66. Oklahoma and Northwestern, and again, 3 fouls for the Wildcats.
You've got to
so they can give 3. I mean, there is really no reason Oklahoma should get a shot.
No, there isn't. But you got to think that Ron Kruger is talking about what they're going to do if they foul, what you're going to do if we get the ball at half court. So it's not just a full court play that you're drawing up right now. It's also something that you can get if the ball is advanced to half court and a foul has occurred.
Now they have reset the clock, as you can see, to 4.2 seconds. So as part of that review, and they're going over and talking to the coaches right now of each side to let them know it is now 4.2 on the clock. So an extra half a second added.
And if I'm Northwestern, I wouldn't put anybody on the ball right now, but I would take away anything long. A.J. Turner kind of playing safety here in the middle. He's not going to let anybody get anything easy. He would be on the ball.
Manic to inbound for the Sooners. Taylor. And they foul Reynolds. Taylor was going to foul him. I think Turner ended up being the one who gave it.
He almost traveled. He really did. He almost traveled almost into. That might have been the right play. Almost faked the foul and let him travel. Use 1.4 seconds, 2.8 left. Got to think another one's coming, but here you go. Here comes the timeout.
A timeout for the Sooners. So in a little better spot here now for Oklahoma. Again, it would seem the strategy for Northwestern would be the same, right?
Well, and now you're going to bring somebody on the ball because you can't allow a pass that's going to get them into scoring position. So you bring somebody up on the ball, force the pass to get caught in the backcourt. At that point, it's a game of numbers. The percentage shot that you're going to get from the other side of half court contested, and I'd still foul. If you force the catch back into the backcourt, I'd like another foul. We might be here all night.
It seems unlikely.
It's unlikely.
Yeah. But you never know. It's an unpredictable game.
It's really interesting to see a team with only 3 fouls with 3.4 seconds left in the game or whatever was on the clock.
And especially a team that is as defensive-oriented as Northwestern is. I mean, the team plays hard. Again, Oklahoma only has 5. I mean, it's not as if it has been called inequitably. Just 2 good defensive teams. Manic, alley-oop, Doolittle. Law's got it. He'll heave it. Does not go, and we go to overtime. Chris Collins was saying, hey, Vic, you should have called the timeout there, but Either way, first overtime game for either of these teams this year. 66 all, and we will play 5 more minutes.
And this is a unique opportunity here for Northwestern. Good home crowd. The crowd really got into it in the last 3-4 minutes of the game. So you've got to continue to ride the wave of good defense and attacking on the offensive end. Taylor's been great shooting the basketball. He's made some tough shots. Vic Law's been fantastic. But I still think the offensive side has to start with Derek Parton. Here it was. Did it get touched? It looks like it does get touched. If that's not touched by anybody, the clock
may have started early. It's actually a really good point as to whether or not that ball was touched there.
I felt like it was, but yes.
Yeah, it looks like it was. Yeah.
That would have been interesting if the ball was never touched. 3 seconds on the clock almost. Interesting. I really think that the defense for Northwestern has been very good. They've been in position to negate the drive before the drive even starts, and that's why they haven't picked up fouls. That's the Wisconsin way, right? You're in position to take it away so you deter the drive in the first place. They've been very good at that.
I'm going to watch it one more time just to see.
I would say yes. It's hard to say for sure, but I would say yes. And right now, truthfully, it doesn't really matter. They're going to toss it up. We're going to play a few more minutes of basketball. Oh, life is tough. God, this is a good game, isn't it?
That's been a really good game. We expected that it would be. Pretty evenly matched games.
100 and how many years ago?
I was 127 years ago, this very day, the first basketball game was played.
The game of basketball is just fantastic. The amount of variables that can determine the outcome of a game just makes it so much fun to watch and be a part of.
And it looked like that went out of bounds off of Parton, so that will be Oklahoma ball. Sooners have been good in close games. They've only had 2 decided by 5 or fewer points. They've won both. We talked about the Wildcats' woes, 0-2 in the close ones this year.
You know, Oklahoma's got experienced players, but they also have playmakers. They have guys that can go out and make a play on their own, and those are usually the guys that help you win close games down the stretch.
There's James, rolls it out, and Parton the rebound.
And this is where I see Derek Parton. If he's going to be covered by Brady Mannix, you've got to find a way to get the ball inside. And it may be as the ball swings. He's got to hold his position and give his team a target to throw to.
There's Law, shot clock at 10. Vic Law, long three that goes. 24 points now for Vic Law. Helixty trying to answer. Off the mark, Manick keeps it alive. Rolls off, gets it back, and he's fouled. What great hustle by Brady Manick, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And this shot by Vic Law, this is a ridiculous shot. An extremely deep three. I'm just telling you, NBA teams, Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza had a fantastic NBA career. He's still playing. This is the kind of guy Vic Law is. He runs the floor well, he handles it well, he defends well, he plays hard constantly, he knocks down threes. He's been impressive tonight. He really has been impressive tonight, particularly how much he's had to defend the ball handler around the perimeter. Uses his length incredibly well.
You know, it's just interesting because Vic Law really throughout his career has never been the guy. He played with Charles Matthews in high school at St. Rita. Charles Matthews, of course, now at Michigan, but went to Kentucky initially. Vic Law was kind of the second fiddle on that team. You had McIntosh and Lindsey on the previous teams here at Northwestern. This is really the first time that it's been Vic's team in his career. This is Law. Law hanging, left it short. And the rebound to Reynolds.
I still think at some point the ball has to get inside to Derek Parton, at least to keep defenses honest. He's being covered by Brady Manick down there, and it's going to draw defenders from the help side, and that's where Derek Parton's going to have options.
There's James for three. Back heeling out, Law the rebound. Turner to Taylor. Shot clock at 12. They get it into Parton, and he was fouled by Manick. That is 4 on Brady Manick.
They had a foul to give. 2+ minutes into overtime, and neither team's in the bonus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's incredible. I like it. There's been good flow to this half because of that. It hasn't been constant whistles.
And Turner is fouled, and that will be a 1-and-1. Foul is on Calixte. That is number 3 on him.
And that's going to be a challenge for a defense like Oklahoma that likes to extend out a little bit. Well, if you extend out too much late in the game, particularly overtime where you get tired, you're going to start to put hands. And that is going to get called every single time, that hand check.
A.J. Turner, wow, he missed it badly, and he is a great foul shooter. Nearly 90% on the year. Northwestern now 5 of 9 for the strike. That was way off the mark. Doolittle inside.
They almost did everything right, but they needed somebody to be present on the backside when Derek Parton got stuck on the high side. Someone needed to at least deter that pass over the top. No one there. Easy layup for Doolittle.
Taylor. Out there, and Doolittle the rebound. Now Oklahoma up by 1. 2 minutes to go here in overtime in Evanston. Calixte going to reset. Shot clock under 10. Doolittle gets the roll. A dozen for Christian Doolittle. And Northwestern will take a timeout.
Think about how to win games down the stretch, but you got to do everything right, which means you're going to watch Taylor here. Taylor's got to be the one on the backside that takes away this lob over the top. He's got to recognize, see-man, see-ball. Don't lose sight of where the basketball is. Derek Parton got stuck on the high side. On the backside, you've got to slide over and take that pass away. And as the ball moves, Oklahoma's starting to pick this defense apart. You wonder how tired Northwestern's starting to get. They've chased a lot of ball handlers around the perimeter. And as we said, this to me is a top 25 team in Oklahoma. I'm surprised they don't have a little number next to their name. 10-1, the experience that they have. They've beaten good teams. They're going to be playing in March.
And you just wonder, the bench has essentially been non-existent here for Northwestern. And they've basically gone with this 5 the entire time in the second half. And to your point, you kind of wonder whether maybe they are just getting tired. I mean, how uncharacteristic that miss was from Turner. This is 90% free throw shooter. It wasn't even close.
And they have had to work. You got to remember, when there's multiple ball handlers and playmakers on the floor, you're going to have to work twice as hard on the defensive end.
There's Law. Trying to back his way in. Big possession for the Wildcats. Law goes to the fadeaway. That doesn't go. And now Oklahoma seemingly gaining control here. It is a 3-point lead as we wind down toward the final minute of overtime.
And this is obviously a huge stop for Northwestern. Got to be communication here.
Offensive foul on Reynolds.
This is just great anticipation. Sitting down, taking it on the chest. It's the right call. I still think you've got to look at Derek Parton here on the offense. And part of it comes down to Parton. You can't just chase the basketball. You got to hold your position. A quick basket inside changes this game.
Manick still in there with the 4 fouls. Here's Taylor. He'll try another. That's just a dreadful shot.
The ball hasn't gone inside to Derek Parton in the last 4 or 5 possessions. There isn't really anybody on the floor that's going to be able to stop him without drawing a double.
Wildcats have missed the last 5 field goal attempts. Should they foul here?
Yes, absolutely. You've got multiple fouls to give. You've got to go out and foul and at least try to stop this basketball game because a made basket almost puts it away.
If they miss it, though, you can tie with a 3. Doolittle doesn't miss it. 14 for Doolittle, 10 since halftime. Now on, they got to go. And they turn it over. Kalixi to Reynolds. And Oklahoma comes into Evanston and wins in overtime. Their first win in a Big Ten arena since 1970. Had lost their previous 4. They score the final 10 points of the game and beat the Wildcats 76-69. The big show coming up next here on BTN. 7 straight wins for Oklahoma. They are now 11-1 on the year. The Wildcats fall to 8-4. They see their 2-game win streak come to an end. Let's send it back to our studios in Chicago. The big show coming up on BTN.